Warriors World Different Place Book 2, Another Chance. Bright spotlights centered on the alien intruder. Cars lined up, many bashed after Dr. Robotnik went haywire. Boxing him in, he put up his hand to block out the blinding fluorescent light, spotting two contraptions with what looked to be wings, spinning around to keep the thing afloat. The traitor had left him, getting what he deserved, taking the weird coffee man's alongside, his whereabouts unknown. Though the rude human probably could not resist meddling, he had simply wanted to check around for any other threat. When the police cornered him, parts left over from the winning battle littered everywhere. One creepy glowing mechanical green eye had fallen on the floor's store behind him, seemingly following his purple gaze. It had some cracks in the frame. Must be another prototype Robotnik left behind. Guns were pointed at him, yelling useless word to get him to surrender. Knuckles felt his anger come floating back, his destiny unfulfilled, the clan lying to him this whole time, these humans daring to take advantage, the doctor who took advantage, Sonic, using his dumb comebacks to immobilize him. He was done. Let them try. His quills perked up on his back, red electricity forming. He felt a familiar tingle of power, rubbing his gloves together to gather it. The authorities must have thought he was doing as they asked, letting their shoulders down as Knuckles lowered his head, concentrating, willing to attack.
Wait.
That voice, he had heard it earlier on in his journey. A human came panting up, brown hair clearly frazzled, striped blue t-shirt, muddy shoes. Sonic's caretaker, Tom, was it? This Tom went straight over to him, ducking under stretched arms. The woman he was mated with came soon after, keeping her distance. Yet there was something off in her eyes, worry, for a warrior bent on killing her blue baby. Impossible. He did help in the final battle, but he was not sure where their opinions lied with him. Tom took the lead.
He's fine now. One needs to be scared, I'm pretty sure.
Knuckles raised an eyebrow at him. What kind of reassured person spoke in such a manner? Tom forced himself to look down at the red echidna.
Knuckles had made a huge mistake trusting the wrong people, but he hasn't done anything ever since he saw Thrashy Robotnik as a assertive cop. My word has to mean something. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Tom dealt with criminals not often, but often enough to know the type Knuckles was behaving as. Those guys, or women, typically let him arrest them when seeing how wrong they were. One of his fellow cops shouted.
That rat damaged our city. He has to be punished for such an act. I state of law.
Knuckles jumped forward, using his gloves to propel himself. Getting right up in the cop's facial features, he warned.
I am an agenda warrior. Do not make me say it again.
He sneered. The cop put a hand on his belt, ready to pull out his gun. Knuckles, who already made his point, backed off over to Tom. A blue blur caught his attention. Sonic and Tails landed on the ground, scratches and dirt still abundant on their forms, the latter holding the Master Emerald. They looked around, bemused. Sonic was the first to speak.
Oh, did we miss anything?
Then he noticed Knuckles, and immediately got the hint. Tails stayed by Maddie, unwilling to get involved. Tom spoke up again.
I've gone in debt.
He said, directing his voice to Sonic.
For Knuckles' crimes, he can be sentenced to community service at my house. He'll be around you guys out, and I'll pay for some of the overall street damage,
Tom waited. Sonic honestly didn't want the warrior around that much. Despite being all eyes now, he couldn't forget the past. Over the last week, and back when he was 3 years old, looking at him, he saw the tribe that killed his first mother. He thought about how Knuckles reacted to getting betrayed, and finding out the truth about his clan. He looked conflicted, somehow sad and angry at the same time, desperate that Sonic was wrong, yet he spoke the truth. This might be good for him. Taking a deep breath, Sonic nodded, giving both of them a thumbs up. Tails repeated the action, so did Maddie. Although the others glared and shook their heads, lights still surrounding friend and supposed enemy, Sonic ran over, knowing what might happen. Using one of his own rings, he shoved Knuckles inside before he could protest. Men shouted, demanding where he went. Sonic shrugged.
Guess he was too fast for you.
He winked at Tom. Maddie motioned them over. Wordlessly, the two creatures and two humans walked home. The authorities had no other choice but to leave the situation be, with the threat gone. The family stared at the green emeralds stashed in their attic, causing green reflections over the wooden walls. Tails glistened.
So, he's coming back for his emerald, right?
Maddie tapped her foot nervously.
Let's hope he does it more civilly this time.
A golden ring circle appeared next to the prized possession. Knuckles stepped out, making a grab for the emerald, before feeling the stares on him.
I will help you repair this house, since I am the one who destroyed half of the place. I have one request, despite this promise.
Knuckles patted the emerald protectively.
It is still my duty to protect the ultimate source of power, and I wish for you to put more thought into where it's located. This is too easy to break into.
Demonstrating, Knuckles put his fist through the window, easily shattering the glass. Tom narrowed his eyes, but Knuckles waved him off.
That is going to be bad, but I rest my point.
Silently, he took in his company. Sonic and Tails were looking at each other, holding back a laugh. Tom opened his mouth over and over, trying to protest in whatever way. Lastly, the woman smiled.
Welcome to the West House, Knuckles.
She lightly put her fragile hand over his, giving it a light shake. Knuckles tilted his head. This change would take some getting used to. Knowing he would go back to Angle Island, he supposed this would suffice for only a little while.